Hello, this is Jennifer McGuire, and welcome to my favorite crafty things for 2019. I've been doing this video series for many years now in hopes that it's a helpful reference to new and advanced crafters. Over the next several weeks, I'll be sharing videos that focus on different topics such as stamps, dies, tools, and more. Now, this is the stamp video, and today I have a lot to share with you. It is a long video, so you feel free to just check out the recommended supply list, or you can watch along and maybe you'll find something that you like. Keep in mind, this is just like window shopping. I've put a variety of products out there for you to check out. There is no need to get them all or even to buy any. Maybe it's a reminder of some great products you have in your stash that you can dig out and use again. Before we get started, I highly recommend checking my blog post, and I have a link here and below. On my blog post, I have all of the products I talk about with multiple sources linked and videos linked to each product so that you can check out some ideas that I've done in the past. I also have exclusive discount codes and giveaways, so there's a lot of information there. If you are watching on YouTube, I'm unable to list all of the products in the description below, so instead I have links to the different categories that I discuss. When you click those links, this is what pops up. There are little thumbnails of all the different products, and underneath it is icons to different places you can purchase them or look at them closely. There are also little heart-shaped icons you can see in the circle there. That means there's a video there that you can check out that I've done in the past using that particular product. Regardless, I share a lot of information in the description and on my blog post, so I'm hoping that's helpful to you. Okay, let's get started with stamps today. I did break up stamps into different categories, and the first category is sentiment stamps, since sentiments are the most important part of a handmade card. So I'm going to go through the products and also show a few examples along the way. I do apologize for going through this quickly, but we have a lot to share. So grab a pen and paper, be ready to hit the pause button if needed, and let's get started. Okay, my first sentiment stamp set is from Mama Elephant, and this has lots of scripty greetings that covers pretty much everything you could need. I like Just a Note, Sending Hugs, and Happy Mail because those can be used for pretty much any occasion or on the envelope too. And because of the style of these greetings, they can easily be stamped on a circle or heart die cut and added to a creative background. I really like sentiments that work that way. And by the way, throughout this video, you'll see a white note card over to the right. That is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch note card, so you can get a size reference for the different stamps I show. Here we have the Essentials by Ellen Totally Random Sayings 3 stamp set. This is another that has a nice variety of occasions included, and this is a more casual scripty look. You can also build sentiments up such as "You are pretty amazing," "You are pretty wonderful," "Thanks a million," and there is a fun little sentiment that says, "And that is all," that you can put inside of your card. The style of this particular sentiment set is great for double heat embossing, where you stamp and maybe silver heat emboss the sentiment, then stamp on top of it again and add another layer so you can have a very thick look embossed lettering. Okay, next up is a kindness stamp set from Jane's Doodles. This is called Kind. I'm a big fan of kindness sentiments, and this has a lot of good ones. I like the kindness changes everything and thank you for your kindness. A lot of these can be stamped on the outside of your envelope also. Here's a card I did with one of these sentiments. And remember, I do have links to the videos that I created for the cards I show in this video. And all you have to do is click on the heart on my supply list. Okay, here is the Hero Arts Mix and Match stamp set, which is definitely a favorite of mine. Many different sentiments that you can put together here. So this is one that you can really stretch for many different occasions. So here we have "You are so perfect in every way," "You are so lovely," "Have a perfectly happy day." You really can create many different things. I've reached for this set a lot this year, and here's one of the examples I've shared in a video. Of all the different cards I make, one that is most common is an encouragement card, especially when someone's going through a rough time. So this Gina K stamp set is perfect for that. There are lots of sentiments about faith, and I like that they're large so they fill a card nicely. So you can keep the focus on that sentiment and just add a little stamping around it. Next up is the Brutus Monroe Super Sentimental Stamp Set. If you're looking for something a little more playful that covers pretty much every occasion you could possibly need, this is a great 6x8 stamp set option. This includes everything from You're Awesome to Happy Birthday to Thanks a Ton, Hello Beautiful, Miss Your Face, and Sent with Love. And I like that each sentiment has a little bit of a different style. I find when stamp sets are like that, I find I reach for them more because it's got a different look each time. I really thought this Inkblot Shop Bubble Words stamp set was so unique for a sentiment set. It has the 3 large sentiments that you can stamp with black ink and color in however you want, and then put glossy accents on top for dimension. I didn't have time to make a card with this, but Tiffany, who owns Inkblot Shop, created this beautiful card and said I could share with you today in this video. I just wanted to show you how this is great for a fun and playful card that's very quick to make. If you're looking for red rubber sentiments, I recommend Purple Onion Designs, and I really like their Everyday Blurbs stamp. Now this is just red rubber, and you can cut those words apart if you want. They have a new system out that makes it possible for you to use the unmounted red rubber with your stamping tool. This is a new clear stamp block that is available at Purple Onion Designs, and I'll link to that also. You can just put your red rubber piece right on it and it clings to it, and then you can use it in your stamping tool as I'm doing here. And check out the wonderful results you get every time when stamping with red rubber. I thought these everyday blurbs were so much fun. Great to cut out and add to a card, especially if you have a little scene with fun critters. You can have them as speaking bubbles above their head. I recently have fallen in love with Unity Stamp Company. This is the Say It Big stamp set. Now, Unity Stamp Company is cling red rubber, so this has the cling material already on it, and you can use it with an acrylic block or a stamping tool as I'm using here. As I mentioned, red rubber always stamps beautifully, and I really like the large sentiments included in the set. There are many actually included, and here's the different images. You can stamp the large ones to create a background, and then add a sentiment strip across it. I think it's really fun and playful and be great for a technique background. Lately, I've used the Waffle Flower Big Dot sentiments many times. I like the compact size of these sentiments and that they're a little more bold or formal looking. These would be great for masculine cards, and also it's got all the different occasions that you could possibly need. These are also great for stamping on small die cuts and adding to any background. The Concord and Ninth Lots to Say stamp set is a small one, but it has earned a permanent home on my craft desk because I use it so often. I like that the sentiments are a little bit different and great for encouragement cards, such as You Deserve All the Good Stuff, I Think You're Wonderful, You're My Happy, and You're the Best Ever. I've used this one many times in videos. The size are perfect for adding along with a word die cut or right along the center of the card on a sentiment strip. Okay, now if you're looking for a sentiment set that has a little different look to it, try the Clearly Besotted Happy Everything set. It has a script main sentiment with a smaller sentiment underneath, and there are many different occasions here included here, very specific ones such as Happy Father's Day, Happy Christmas, Happy Birthday, and so on. There are also additional sentiments on the bottom that you can use on the inside of the card. And that small little happy for you in the center there, I think that's great for stamped on a circle and added to a simple card too. And by the way, I have a friend that I've just started to get into stamping, so I got this to give her as a Christmas gift because I think this is a great set for anybody who's just starting out and wants to add lots of sentiments to their collection. Next, we have a larger stamp set. This is 6x8. It's the Simon Says Stamp All the Thanks stamp set. I am a big fan of these thin-lined words. I just feel that they add a nice delicate touch to your card and fit with any style card that you may make. There are many different greetings that you can put together here. I like the You Have Been a Lifeline, I Appreciate You So Much, Blessings, and Thank You. Lots of different looks included here also, including that little speech bubble. Now, I have used this in many, many videos. Here are a few examples for you, just to show you how large these sentiments are. You can create a fun background and add a simple sentiment. And because some of these are thin line, it adds a nice, soft detail to your cards, as you can see in these. And by the way, there is a coordinating die set available that cuts out these words, which I think is really fun and unique for a sentiment stamp set. Another set from Simon Says Stamp and CZ Design is called Good Job Mama, and this is by far one of my favorites of the year, and I've used it quite often. These sentiments are perfect for giving to a fellow mama or a mama that you may know who just needs a good reminder that she's doing a great job. Sometimes it's hard, but it's definitely worth it. So if you're looking to make encouragement cards, this might be a good option for you. And I have lots of examples that I will link to in the supply list showing ways to use this set. I also send a lot of cards to friends and loved ones telling them how thankful I am for them. And the Hello Bluebird Banner Blessing set is great for that. Imagine getting a card with one of these greetings. It'll definitely lift a person's day. And I really like that the sentiments include the script along with the font for a fun, stacked look. Okay, next up we have the Just Because stamp set from Pink and Maine. This is one of those sets that's super well thought out. You have the large Just Because, the large Thinking of You, and then many different smaller sentiments that you can stamp underneath it or on the inside of the card. Sentiments like this are perfect for stamping on a sentiment strip and adding onto your card anywhere you want. So you can use them with or without the larger greetings here on the bottom. Next, we have the Waffle Flower Here For You stamp set. I think we can all agree that sympathy and wishing you comfort cards are the hardest to make. So this stamp set really makes it easier because there are many different ways to say what you're feeling for these type of cards. I like all the hugs, thinking of you and sending love, wishing you comfort, keeping you in my prayers. A little something for just about any occasion when somebody needs some serious encouragement. I also like that the font is clean and simple, so you can use these with any kind of style card that you may make. Here we have the Flora and Fauna Everyday Word Party 2 set. There are the large and open thanks, happy, and thank you on the bottom that you can stamp and color any way you want. And then there are also a lot of simple sentiments that you can team along with it or use separately. Another set that has lots of unique greetings is the Reverse Confetti So Many Sentiments stamp set. There are many in here that I like and I've used many times in videos. There are unique greetings such as You're Wonderful in Every Way, Hooray for Today, Everything is Going to Be All Right, The World Needs More People Just Like You, You Couldn't Be More Amazing If You Tried. A lot of unique things that I've never found in other sets. Perfect for stamping on a sentiment strip and then adding anywhere on your card. If you're looking for a set that has unique, happy greetings, this is a great option. Here we have the Altenews Sentiment Strips stamp set. Now, I am a big fan of adding simple sentiments on a sentiment strip just about anywhere on my card. It's a great way to team up with word dies also. Well, this is one of those basic sets that has all the different occasions that you could possibly need. The perfect size and style to work with any card that you make. Now, I use this one many times in videos. Here's an example of one where I did. These sentiments have some longer ones that you can cut and make a stacked look like I did on this card here. It also has great sentiments to use inside of cards. Another that is also great for all occasions and for sentiment strips or the inside of cards is the Avriel Simple Sentiments stamp set. There are a few unique ones in here, such as Always in Our Thoughts, Miss You So Much, You Make Everything Better, and Hope Your Day is Awesome. So between those two sentiment strip sets, you could probably have everything you need. My last sentiment set is the Mama Elephant Mini Everyday Messages. These are smaller sentiments that aren't as long because the words are stacked, great for getting into tight spaces or stamping on small die cuts. There's even a Flip Me, Pull Me, Slide Me, or Shake Me that are great to stamp on interactive cards or on their envelopes. I find having a stamp set like this in my collection to be very helpful because, as I mentioned, you can fit these in even the tightest places on your completed card. Okay, next it's time for background stamps. Definitely a favorite type of stamp for me. Now I have a few different ones to choose from. Here we have the Neat and Tangled Mail Background Stamp. This is a cling red rubber stamp, so it'll stamp beautifully. And it's large enough to stamp either horizontally or vertically on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. I think this is fun because it has all those handmade card envelopes in the background, and I've used this one many times to stamp on the flap of my envelope too. I think it's fun to have that envelope stamped on your envelope. Another fun background stamp is the Impression Obsession Sketched Palm Leaves background. Again, this is large enough to stamp vertically or horizontally, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you how this one stamps. I'm not completely inking up the background, just doing a quick inking with some black ink, and you can see the beautiful leaves that you can get. Now, I did use this one recently with white pigment ink on a colored cardstock, and I think it's great for a subtle background. And thanks to the style of the leaves, I think this one can be used all year round. Now, the Simon Says stamp Leaves and Berries background, I think is meant to be used for holiday cards, but I definitely could see using this one all year round also. It's great for subtle background or for unique techniques like I did on the card over here to the right. You can use this also as a focal point of your card by stamping, coloring some of the leaves, and then cutting them out. Another background stamp that I've used a lot lately is the My Favorite Things Brush Splatter background stamp. Now, I love the look of splatter on a card, paint splatter or embossing splatter or anything, but I have control issues. I like that this one gives the perfect array of splatter and it can be used for subtle backgrounds. So for example, on this one, I just did tone on tone with the splatter and it almost looks like snow falling. I also used this once for a quick birthday card where I stamped it a few times in different colors and it looked like confetti. All right, next up we have from Brutus Monroe, the Flower Doodle background stamp. Now this is a clear background stamp that you can use vertically or horizontally on a card. Now I have yet to do a video with this, but Lila and I have stamped it many times and colored it. It's a really fun one to color with the opening in the center to put any sentiment you want. It also is fun to use for embossed resists, so you could say white heat emboss it on white cardstock and add lots of different colors of ink over it. Definitely a great one for techniques. Here we have the Studio Katia Floral Garden background stamp. This is another clear stamp, and notice that it has a defined edge, which I think is really fun also, because you could stamp it as a border or stamp it to fill an entire card. Another fun one to color or use for techniques. You can also cut different elements out of it. In fact, I used the flower on the bottom left of this, where I just stamped it, cut it out, and added it to a card. I'm really excited by this Ink Blot Shop Slim Stripes background stamp. I just got this one and tested it, and it stamps beautifully. It's great to have a stamp background set in your collection because you can use it for subtle backgrounds or kissing techniques and other fun techniques. So I will definitely be using this in a video soon. I also like that you can stamp it horizontal or vertical or even do diagonal lines kind of across the corner of a card. Another frequently used background stamp in my collection is from the Ink Blot Shop, and it's called Rainbow Scoops. This is a clear stamp that can be stamped horizontally or vertically. And the nice thing is if you stamp it this way, you can create lots of rainbows or just a scallop background. Or you can stamp it upside down and create the look of waves. I've just used it for a tone-on-tone look in a background. But one thing that Lila did that was super fun is she stamped it with black and then colored in a few of the rainbows in rainbow color. So it had these little scattered rainbows in the background. So again, there's lots of things that you can do with this one. Here we have the Whimsy Stamps Lattice Background Stamp. This is a large cling stamp. And what's really cool about this is you can stamp it and leave it as is, or add little stamped images in the openings, such as a heart like I'm doing here. Or you could add gems, little buttons, anything you want. You could also stamp this background repeatedly but offset to create a really cool looking lattice background. And it can be done horizontal or vertical. I'll be using this one also in an upcoming video, but I wanted to show you a quick little example of how you could do this. You would just stamp those hearts into all of the openings. I thought I would also include Lila's favorite background stamp. This is the Tailored Expressions Create and Color stamp. Now, it's not necessarily a background stamp, but it can be used to cover an entire background, or you can create a small border. The fun thing about this is you can stamp these and color them however you want, and even stamp small sentiments across the pencil so it looks like it's engraved on the pencil. This one is great for teacher gifts or just about any occasion that you could want. The next category of stamps I'm going to cover is layering stamps. Now, layering stamps or images that you build together have become more popular over the years. Now, here's the thing. I like layering stamps because I can get realistic results, and I'm not real comfortable with my coloring, so I can get the results without taking the time to color. The All Too New Rose Blossoms stamp set is a great one for creating realistic results. I also like that there are outline images included, so if you want to do the outline and color them yourself, you can. Or you could do the layering without the outline or combine them. Here's a guide of the different leaves and flowers included in the set. I like that All Too New includes the guide so you can easily figure out how to layer each image. In this case, it's pretty easy to see how they each line up. I like how large these images are. This is a 6x8 set, so you can see how they fill a card nicely. Now, I can't do examples of all of the layering of these sets in this video because it's long enough as is, but I will show some examples so it gives you an idea of the results you can get. Another great layering stamp set from All Too New is Grateful Heart. These are again large images that have the layering pieces and the outline, so you can use them together or separately. I also like the unique leaves included in this. They even provide little codes so you can figure out which images go together to create the layered results. Here's a look at the guide that goes with this stamp set. I also like that they include suggested colors on the bottom of the guide there, but you definitely could use any colors that you may have. Layering stamps work with just about any ink. I think that is such a beautiful flower, and remember, you could do just the outline if you wanted to color it instead. Okay, next we have from Sunny Studios, the Sunflower Field stamp set. This is a smaller set, it's 4x6, and it has the layering images for sunflower, also for the leaves, and there are even layering images for little bees that you can add to your card. So cute. I think that's really unique. I haven't ever really seen layering images for such small pieces. So here's an example that I did. So we have the layered leaves, we have the sunflower, and also the cute little bees. Even though this is for sunflower, I think you could get away with stamping these flowers in any colors to get a different look. For a more playful look, here is the My Favorite Things Tropical Flowers stamp set. This one is easy to build. You don't have to line them up just perfect to get great results. Much easier to build on top of each other. And again, they circle around the images that go together, so it takes out the guesswork. Now this one you could do with bold, fun colors to make a bright card, as I did here. I just stamped the layers together and added it as a cluster to the top of my card. I also like that the solid images in this set would be good for fun techniques such as kissing, so you can use this set in many ways. Okay, a unique layering set that I wanted to share is the All Too New Ornate Foliage set. And I'm working right now on creating a set of note cards for a friend as a Christmas gift using this. Basically, I stamp the outline images, which you could then color by hand, or it has those solid pieces that you can stamp in different colors and they fit perfectly in the open image. So instead of taking the time to color the images, you can stamp them with color and it looks like you did all the coloring yourself. I think it's best to see the example here. You can see the different colors that are stamped into the flowers and the leaves of the outline image. A definite favorite set from this year is the All Too New Dot Botanicals. This is unique in that there's the solid image of the leaves and the dotted image. You can stamp them separate or layer them together for a really unique look. And there are also fun, small, simple sentiments included in the set. Here's an example where I stamped the solid with yellow and orange ink, and then I gold heat embossed the dots on top. Such a unique look, and I hope they come out with more with this style in the future. Next is the Concord and Ninth Kindness Blooms Turnabout stamp set. Now this is a unique type of layering set. It's a turnabout where you stamp it once and rotate it and stamp it again and rotate it to create a background full of color. This one is extra special because you can use the turnabout in a couple ways. If you want to see how a turnabout works, I'll link to a video up here and in my description below that shows this one in action. But here are a couple cards I made with this set, and they have different backgrounds. On this one, I used this stamp set and added some larger flowers. And in my other example, I kept a simple background that I created with just the smaller flowers. but both unique looks were created with the one set. This year, there were also many non-floral layering stamp sets that I liked. This is Sunny Studios' Slice of Summer. In it, you have layering lemons, limes, or oranges, and also a fun watermelon, and some punny sentiments to go along with it. The watermelon is definitely my favorite and very easy to layer together, and a great alternative to flowers. Likely the most realistic looking layering stamp set I've ever used is the Kitchen Sink Stamps Tree Stamp Set. Now I use this one in video and I think it's best to just go ahead and look at how realistic the examples are. In my video for this, I show some tips for lining up images like this one because you got to get it just right to give great results. But it is possible, and I tell you, such realistic looking results. So if you're a big layering stamp fan, I recommend checking this one out. Now, another turnabout stamp set that I recommend that doesn't have flowers is the Concord & Ninth Hello Sunshine Turnabout Stamp. This is a smaller set, it's 6x8, and it has some great cheerful sentiments in it. But this piece right here, if you stamp it, rotate it, stamp it again, and rotate it 4 times, you can create a fun starburst look. You could use this to create a sunshine or even just to create a focal point behind an image as I did here. Really a fun and versatile set. Okay, the next category I wanted to share with you is just other stamps. Stamps that don't fit in the previous category but I think are worth checking out. Here we have the Sweet and Sassy Serene Silhouette Stamp Set. Now, Sweet and Sassy has many great sets like this one, this style, but this is a newer one that I really like the size and that so many options are included. There are even the little birds and butterflies you can add to it. I used a similar stamp set to create the card that you see here. These silhouettes are great for creating inked background techniques. Another stamp set that I recommend for techniques is the Tim Holtz Pressed Foliage. The detail in these large stamps are beautiful, and because they're cling stamps, you can do really cool techniques with them. Now, I use them along with heat embossing and distress oxide sprays to create the examples I'm showing here, but you could do any kind of inking technique with these beautiful images. One of the most important stamp sets in today's video is the Gina K Designs Love and Kindness stamp set. This 6x8 stamp set was created to raise money for hurricane relief and has already raised well over $20,000. So be sure to check this one out. Lots of different sentiments you can build up about love and kindness, along with great images that you can use on many different occasions of cards. Now, I did a video showing many ways to use this set, so you'll be sure to check that one out. But I love a stamp set that has a good purpose, and this one is perfect. Another extra special stamp set from Gina K Designs is the Friendship Blooms set. She actually designed this in honor of Hero Arts celebrating their 45th year of making stamps. I really like this large floral image that fits perfectly on a card, or you can use it on the edge to create a border. I actually did a video where I showed, I think, 5 different ways to use the stamp without having to take the time to color it. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. But if you like to color, this is a great set for you. Another set with a large floral image is the Grey Muse Happiness Bloom set. This is also 6x8. And although that floral cluster is beautiful, I am crazy about the sentiments in the set. I like the "you're a whole lot of lovely," "love you friend," "you're so kind," and other sentiments that are unique and perfect for friendship cards. Next, we have the Miss Ink Magnolia Sympathy stamp set. This has very easy to color images and perfect sentiments for sympathy cards. We have "thinking of you," "just a note," "you're in our thoughts and prayers," "so sorry for your loss," "with deepest sympathy," and "get well soon." So lots of good greetings with simple images that are easy to color, or you could use them for techniques. Next is the W+9 Neighbors stamp set. Now, I have used this one a lot. I've done welcome neighbor cards or cards that say "you're the best" or "you always make me feel at home" or "miss you." They're very fun to stamp and create a little scene, or you could stamp one house and create a simple card. I did a whole video showing different ways to use this set to create bridge cards. It is such a sweet and simple set that I recommend for any stamper. Now, I know many of you out there like cute little critters, and the Pretty Pink Posh Animal Signs Critter Set is a fun one because each of the critters is holding a sign, and in that sign you could stamp any sentiment that you want, which I think is a great way to get a lot out of one single stamp set. I also really like the Lawn Fawn Smooth Sailing Stamp Set. Lawn Fawn has lots of great stamp images, but this one's extra special because of the different occasions you can use with it, such as when the waters get rough, you are my anchor, thank you for being my anchor, I'm here for you. So great encouragement and thoughtful cards can be made using this one set. Lila and I created a card that actually had a slider feature, so when you pulled on the tab, the boat went across the card. So Smooth Sailing is a great one for a variety of different interactive designs also. One of the most creative stamp sets I saw this year is this one from Avriel. I used it in a video to create a fun bowl of soup that was actually a shaker card. It's just unique and playful. If you like a good pun, this stamp set is one that's worth checking out. For those of you who make a lot of birthday cards, I recommend the My Favorite Things Birth Yay stamp set. This is a taller stamp set that includes some playful sentiments and images. The reason I included this one on my favorites list is because of the large image on the bottom that has all those little animals stacked up. All you have to do is stamp that on a card, do some quick coloring, and you have a fun image. Now for my card example, I actually made a shaker window out of that image using the coordinating die. Super playful, it fills a card nicely, and perfect for any birthday or celebration. Another great celebration stamp set is the Pink Fresh Studio Make-A-Wish set. This is a 6x8 set that can be used for celebration, wedding, or birthday. The best part about this is you can create this layered cake. You can make it as tall as you want on that little cake stand, and then you can put any numbers you want on top. So here for this card, I did 44 on the top, and I gave this to one of my good friends for her 44th birthday. I love personalized cards, especially on birthdays, and this set makes it easy. Definitely one of the most creative sets from this year. Another set that I had to include on my list is the Honeybee Stamps Anchors the Soul stamp set. This beautiful 4x6 set was created to also raise money for hurricane relief. Such a beautiful set with wonderful sentiments of encouragement. I did a video showing many ways to use this set, and I have since then used this set many times for creating encouragement cards for my mother-in-law who is battling cancer. So it's one of those that I've unfortunately had to reach for often, but I'm thankful for the encouragement sentiments. Okay, here we have a Honeybee Stamps one-of-a-kind stamp set. If you make interactive cards, I recommend this one. It has all the different small words that you can stamp to help let the person know how to use the interactive card. There are even little arrows and sentiments that work perfect for the matching envelopes. Okay, a newer stamp set that I was really excited to find is the Mama Elephant Handcrafted Happiness Set. Now, I love making handmade gifts, and there are some fun sentiments that you can stamp on the package or tag of a handmade gift, or on the back of your card, or on your envelope. I like the enjoy this little piece of handcrafted happiness, hand-stamped, handcrafted with love. Lots of different sentiments for any of us who like to make handmade. The last stamp set in this category is from Hero Arts, and it's called Stamped Just For You. This is a 6x8 stamp set with lots of crafty images, but what's best about it are the sentiments. These sentiments are great for one stamper to send to another. So if you have crafty friends, this is definitely a must-have. I've used this set many times in videos this year, and definitely my favorite sentiment in it is the one that says, "I love you more than my stamps, and that's a lot." Okay, so the next category and the last category that I wanted to cover today of stamps are those stamps and die bundles that I think are great to buy together. I definitely have to start with the Tailored Expression Simple Strips stamp set. So this is actually one large cling stamp that stamps all those sentiments at once. Very easy to stamp. I just like to use my stamping tool. And then what's cool is you get the coordinating die, and it cuts all of those sentiments out at once so that you have lots of sentiment strips. Now this is just one of the Simple Strips stamp sets. They have a few of them now, and they all match up with this die. So if you get the die, you can get the different sets and very quickly create a bunch of sentiment strips. You just line the dots up from the stamped image with the holes in the die, and check this out. All of these sentiments very quickly made. I keep these in a little bowl on my desk, or in my drawer actually on my desk, so that whenever I need a sentiment, I can reach in and grab one. So as I mentioned, there are a few different sets that go together with that die set. My personal favorite is the original simple strips. It has lots of occasions included. Since then, they've also come out with a mini sentiment strip stamp set and coordinating die, so it cuts out less, and that's what you see here. There are a lot of holiday ones that work with this. This one has the squared end instead of the flags. I love all the different options they have, and here is a card where I use one of the sentiment strips on an example. So clever and definitely worth checking out. Okay, I also recommend the Birch Press Lingo Thanks stamp and coordinating die set. You can cut out the large words hugs, love, thanks, and thank you. So I stamped it and used the die to cut them out, or you could skip the stamping, or you could skip the die cutting. I love having all the different options. You can add color inside of the open letters and stamp a sentiment underneath or on the inside of your card. Such a unique look and great for many different card styles. I also recommend alphabet stamps and dies, and the cool thing about these from Concord and Ninth is that they can be used separate or together. These are great for creating personalized cards or whatever greeting you want. Here's an example where I white heat embossed the letters with the stamp set, and then I use the letter dies to cut them out to create my own message. Here I use the letter dies by themselves and die cut them from black cardstock and put glossy accents on top to make them stand out against the colorful background. So again, these can be used together or separate, and definitely a must-have. Here we have the Altenew Leafy Clusters stamp set and coordinating dies. You can stamp this and cut them out with the coordinating dies, or you could use the coordinating dies by themselves and die cut them from colored cardstock. These are great leaf clusters that would match up nicely with any flower stamps that you have, or just as a focal point behind a sentiment. I also find that the leaf clusters are great for stamping repeatedly on a background. Here I used a soft ink and a soft cardstock for a subtle look. This is the Hello Bluebird Banner Buddy stamp set and vertical banner die set. That's a mouthful. Anyways, these can be stamped and die cut together or used separately. I really like the style of the stamp set with the cute little animals and that great "You're so kind" sentiment. The die can be used with it, or you can use it alone to create a little place where you can do any kind of stamping. There's also the string on the stamp set that matches up with the banner die. I like that the die set also includes small leaves and flowers. Here's a card that I created using the stamp set. I just stamped "You're so kind" in the center of a card, and it's a nice alternative to a simple thank you message. If you haven't done so before, I recommend checking out the Concord and Ninth Mail Drop stamp set and coordinating die set. It's hard to see just how many things you can do with these two products together. You can create little mailboxes that open, little envelopes, cards that pull out, lots of things. I did several things with this stamp set in a video, which I do have linked, such as this one where the dog, you just pull the tab and the dog comes out of the mailbox. And I also have some fun ones where there's a little letter inside of an envelope, and when you pull the flowers, you can see the hidden greeting. There are many ways to use these products to create these interactive card features, so be sure to check it out. Another very creative product from 2019 is the Simon Says Stamp Thanks and Encouragement Word Mix 1 stamp set and coordinating die. The stamp set has two large images that have lots of sentiments. When you stamp them, you can then use the coordinating die to cut them all out at once. So there are two image clusters, and they both work with that coordinating die. So you just line the die up with the sentiments, run it through any die cut machine, and you have lots of little sentiment pieces ready to go. I like that they're all different shapes and sizes. Now this is the Thanks and Encouragement word mix. There has since been a birthday set too, but this one is definitely my favorite. And here you can see where I used the Celebrating You sentiment strip underneath the word friend. We also have the My Favorite Things Well Hello stamp set and Sweet Hello die set. The hello on the stamp set matches up with the hello in the die set. And the die set also includes the shadow, so you can use them together or separately. There are also many sentiments that can be stamped above, below, or on the word hello, or in the inside of your card. All right, here is the Simon Says Stamp CZ Design Clean Line Everyday stamp set, which is similar to the look I showed you before. But the nice thing about this stamp set is there's lots of occasions included, all thin-lined and detailed, and smaller sentiments to match up with them. And the coordinating die set cuts out the words, which makes them easy to add to your card just about anywhere you want. Sometimes I forget to add a sentiment. This is a great way to solve that problem because you can stamp and die cut the sentiment and glue it anywhere you want on a card. And last but not least, probably the most creative of all of the combos here is from Gina K. This is Crazy Daisy. There's a stamp set, a stencil, and a die set that all coordinate. So you can stamp the flower and use the die to cut it out. Then there's also a stencil that you can layer over the flower to do the fun little bits at the center of the flower. And you can use glitter paste here, you could foil here, whatever you want. The stencil also has a fun border that goes nicely with the stamp set. It's really fun all the different ways you can use these products together. Okay, there you have it, my recommended stamp sets for 2019. It's a long video and I had to go through it quickly, but I hope it was fun for you to watch and helpful. Again, be sure to check out my links in my description below. You just click on them and it'll open up all the products that I featured along with links to where you can get them and the videos that I mentioned. Also, go to my blog for those discount codes at different favorite places to shop and for giveaways and much more information. I will be back soon to share with you my favorite dies from 2019, and then we'll move on to tools, inks, and more. In the middle here, I link to a couple other videos you might like, including my favorite stamp sets from 2018, which are still great products. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon and have a wonderful weekend.